So this video is for running subcuticular. So when you're doing a running subcuticular, it'll be underneath the skin, typically done for good cosmetic reasons. If you have a simple laceration on the face, does not provide a lot of tension. So if you have a high tension wound, do not do these particular sutures. It's going to start off on the corner, just like the other running stitch. You're going to do a simple subcuticular. So do deep, superficial, superficial, deep, and then we're going to go ahead and run it. So deep, needle come up through the superficial end. And then we're going to do superficial to deep. When you're pulling it through, make sure that the suture you're tying with ends up on the same side, opposite this, so that it does not lock. When you cut all the way down to the knot as you would for a regular simple interrupted. Sorry, simple subcuticular. Okay, so then when I go ahead and get started, I have, this is knotted underneath. Be cautious because you have to start back a little bit. I don't want you starting full forward because you want to go back and make sure you get everything in here. But occasionally the tip of the needle being so sharp can actually get into that suture and cut it. And then the whole suture will unravel. So just be cautious whenever you're doing that. So here's my knot. I'm going to go a little bit further back so that I can kind of go behind it a little bit. And I'm going to stay very superficial, just under the skin line. I don't know if you guys can see real close here where my needle is. Same depth on entrance and exit of the needle. I'm going to pull that through. Then when I go, you want to kind of line this up wherever this exits. I'm going to go back just a hair from that. So instead of entering right here, I'm going to enter just slightly back behind where that would be. Again, just under the skin. You can see how superficial I am. And this is, again, just providing very little tension. So when you're pulling it, it can rip very easily. You see it's kind of pulling it as you go. And I'll go ahead and put one more in there for you so you can see how I close it at the end. And then at the top of this, what you would do is just pull. Sometimes you have to pull the skin a little bit because it gets caught, and then it pulls it tighter. You can see that's. Okay, so when you close it, you're going to do something very similar to when you start. So you want to end deep. So you want to again do the deep, superficial, superficial, deep. So I'm on this side, so I'm going to go ahead and go on this side, opposite. And I'm going to leave a tail so that I can tie with it. You kind of see, so the first loop that I made, I'm going to leave, not the second, so I can tie with that. Pull nice and tight. Pull. So now your knot is buried underneath. You can go ahead and cut this. And then one final thing I do, if you actually look, the knot is underneath there. So you can steri strip it or glue it. But one final thing I do too with these, instead of just cutting both sutures all the way down there, I take this last piece and like kind of come through and exit on somewhere else on the body, and it helps to pull that knot even closer underneath the skin. So if you look in there now, the knot is really buried, and so then you can cut this all the way to the base of the skin, and that's it. And then at the very end with these, you typically do steri strips, which kind of provide a little bit of extra tension for them, or skin glue, and that's it.